So, looks like USC and UCLA have decided to join the Big Ten.
West Side.
Yikes.
That's the real Big Ten West. The true West.
No, that's definitely what that is.
The real West.
That's exactly what that is. But it raises an interesting question. Now that we are already venturing out west, what other teams do you think we can get out of this situation? Obviously, there's been talks with Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
The Big Ten's been trying to get Notre Dame for quite a while.
Fuck Notre Dame.
But is there any other teams that you think can enter the fold, maybe even by the end of this preseason?
Yeah, man. Okay, so let me talk about the Cali teams first. That's huge. That's huge. First of all, now we are the only conference that stretches coast to coast.
Yes.
We have every major media market in the country.
New York,
California,
all the way out to
New
California.
York, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Pennsylvania, Ohio, everywhere. Like there is a goddamn railroad that cuts right through the middle of the country, and it's called the Big Ten. That's huge. That is huge. Not to mention you're adding one of the other winningest programs in college football history in Southern Cal. Long history with the Big Ten, the Rose Bowl. Imagine playing regular season night games at the Rose Bowl, fam.
Fire.
That's nuts. And I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm excited to see night on the road late in the season at the Coliseum. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I'm geeked for that. I'm geeked for Sunday or Saturday mornings, waking up at 8 a.m. So if it's 12 o'clock for them, it'll be like 3. So it'll be like 3 o'clock kickoff to watch UCLA and Michigan play in downtown LA. I'm here for that. I'm here for that because those are old programs. Those are story programs. They are brands that can help bolster a conference. And coming off the move from the SEC to pick up Texas and Oklahoma, it was a move that sent some shockwaves, right? But the thing that limited them in that expansion is that that's of the same footprint, man. Them guys was watching Texas and Oklahoma football anyways. It was a seamless fit. It was almost too seamless. If you're the Big Ten, you didn't effectively imploded the Pac-12 because what is the Pac-12 without Southern Cal?
Yeah.
Southern Cal and UCLA, and then your next two after that are being talked about being brought over into the Pac-12 is done.
It's done. It's done.
Now, in terms of who the Big Ten can add, taking some more teams from the Pac, I think is interesting, and then maybe even the Big 12. Most likely, I'd say Oregon and Washington.
Okay.
But they seem to be waiting on Notre Dame and what they want to do, so we'll see what happens with that. My dream scenario, with what we've already added, pick up 2 more. The 2 would be Utah, which would be an absolute death sentence.
Yes.
For the Pac-12, because Utah is actually my pick to win the Pac-12 this year.
I was gonna say they're up and coming for sure.
Yeah, they're the best team in the conference in my opinion currently. Utah, which is a more seamless fit football-wise than even USC.
Yes.
Because Utah plays Big Ten football. They play 3 yards, cloud of dust, hard-nosed run defense. There's a reason why Utah was in the Rose Bowl last year. It wasn't just by chance. And then from the Big 12, Iowa State.
Okay. I mean, that
already
makes sense
has
because of the rivalry.
Right? Same footprint as Iowa, obviously. Would be another seamless fit, not just culturally, geographically, but also in terms of style of play.
Yes.
I think it would go a long way to solidifying the identity of the Big Ten to add those kind of teams so that even still, we're an expanded super conference, but this is still Big Ten football. Right?
You don't lose your identity in trying to get all these other teams.
Exactly. I would love to have Utah and Iowa State to get us to, what would that be, 16 teams?
Mm-hmm.
I would love it. Notre Dame, you should just go ahead. You're already in the ACC and every other sport. This is not hard. This is not hard. Just join the ACC. Notre Dame has been pretentiously holding their independent status, not just from the Big Ten, but largely from the ACC for years.
Yes.
4 years. And I don't want now that they are late or being the last ones to the party, because if anybody was approached for expansion, even before we were talking about adding Nebraska or Rutgers or Maryland to the Big Ten, it was Notre Dame. Notre Dame has had to, and I don't know, I'm not an insider, but they have had uncountable amount of opportunities to join the Big Ten.
Yes. I mean, you're smack dab in Indiana.
Yeah, why should we let them in now?
They already play, 5 ACC games
a year? Season? You already play 5 ACC games a year. What is this conversation we're even having?
If they go to the ACC, they're not. See, right now, as an independent team, they can pretty much bank on, we're independent, so you got to have us at least somewhere in the top, whatever, right? Well, but if they go to the ACC, I don't feel like their name is just so easily written on a ticket to the playoffs.
The reason why Notre Dame hasn't joined the conference is because number one, they play one less game than everybody. Yes. They'll always end on 12-0 because they don't have a conference championship game. So end of the season, Notre Dame's basically sitting there waiting for somebody to lose. Granted that they're either 11-1 or 12-0, and they get to do that every single year, and that's the draw to go into Notre Dame and staying independent.
That plus their NBC deal, which, like you said, is largely antiquated at this point.
Yeah, it's very antiquated. Like back in the early 2000s, why would they ever leave? It's $30 million. $30 million.
Every team is getting that, and then some.
Rutgers probably cleared $30 million last year, fam. You literally $30 million for 5 games in Notre Dame a year at NBC. They probably want to get that shit away. Like, man, fuck on so that we can go call the Big Ten.
Plus, you've got Michigan, you've got USC, who you're already rivals with.
Yes,
make it happen.
I'm sure they're trying to call now. I'm sure they're trying to get in now. But I would, man, kick rocks, bro. Kick rocks. You've been right in the middle of our footprint for since Notre Dame has existed, since the Big Ten existed.
There's a little bit of history behind that, but at this point, bro, money talks. Join the Big Ten.
Money has always talked. That's what it is. When NBC locked them down, they locked them down for a long time. I don't know if they ever expected college football to balloon the way it has, but man, we are going into a new era of college athletics, I believe, and I think it's a positive change. It's going to take a little bit of regulating for sure, because right now we still in the wild west. I can't wait to see who get this death penalty. And then when they get it, I'm going to look at all of you. Ooh, Michigan should have jumped right in and got some players and gave some contracts and da-da-da. And I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up. Forever. Shut up. Shut up.
We'll see how the college landscape looks once NIL takes place, and maybe somebody gets the death penalty when Notre Dame's deal is over, when the teams actually start joining the conferences. It's a lot of things at play here that I think will shake up the college football landscape for sure.
I heard JT Barrett got a cold again. Heard he left his fan on in his room while he was sleeping and he got a cold. He said he might not be ready for the opener.
JT Barrett?
Damn. DJ Stroud.
Anyway.
DJ Stroud. Ah, damn it.
Anyway, any other college football thoughts?
No, it's clearly getting late. That's enough. Make sure you give us your thoughts on NIL and the conference expansion. Looks like we're headed to some big seismic moves here in the college football landscape. Give us your thoughts on everything. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and come back for more college football content.
And make sure you subscribe, like he said, because we'll be talking about college football going into the season. We've been kind of talking about it quite a bit already, but the season's coming up. I think we've got a month and a half, maybe.
Last week of August.
Oof. See, month and a half. So make sure you subscribe. We'll be talking about the Big Ten season for the entire season.